subscriber friend, welcome. I'm so excited you're here because I have a really beautiful shawl pattern to show you today. I think you're going to love this one. This is a beautiful triangle crochet shawl designed for you by Jane Vanselous. And this is for the adventurous beginner to intermediate crocheter. This Wilona design reminds me of beautiful mountain rivers and lakes and waterfalls cascading down regal mountains. There were so many of these when I was growing up in Alaska, and I remember they always took my breath away. It's a beautiful triangle shape that sits really nicely on your shoulders. It's like a little hug. This pattern can be downloaded at expressionfiberarts.com, and we're also going to put the link to it in the description box for you. The pattern does include the written instructions as well as charts, and I know many of you love charts, as do I, because it really helps you to visually see what you're going to produce. This design features these simpler sections of single and double crochets, and then it also has these gorgeous shells here as well as some little popcorns, and I'm going to be showing you how to work both of those here in a minute. Since this pattern does have different color sections, Jane did go ahead and include the exact yardage you're going to need for each section in case you want to change the colors or the color order, so you don't have to worry about running out of yarn for each section. We used 4 colors of our amal fingering yarn, which has baby alpaca for a nice drape, and it's got some silk for a subtle little sheen, and it also has linen in it, which provides a nice structure as well as gives a unique heathered effect. So overall, it is a very soft yarn. It's very delightful to work with, and it feels wonderful on your skin. Here are some tips to ensure your success with this shawl. I'm going to be showing you how to get started, how to work the shell stitch, how to work the popcorn stitch, as well as how to work the final section of this shawl. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to get started. To get started with this shawl, you're going to begin with a slip knot, and you're going to want to make sure that you have a little opening stitch marker because we're going to use that here in a minute. Begin with a chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. For row 1, you're going to work a double crochet in the 4th chain from your hook. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now you're going to chain 1 and work 3 double crochets into the next chain, which is over here. There's 1, 2, and 3. Now you're going to work a chain 1 and then 2 double crochets into your last chain. 1 and 2. There's row 1. Now we're going to go ahead and turn and work row 2, and that starts with a chain 1 and then a single crochet into the first double crochet. Now single crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1. Now you're going to skip this chain 1 space and work 2 single crochets into the next double crochet, which is over here. 1 and 2, and then 3 single crochets into the next double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Now this is the center of our shawl, so you're going to want to mark that so it's easy to keep track of. Go ahead and get a little stitch marker and insert that into that middle single crochet that you worked on that stitch. So the second one over from your hook. Once you've done that, you're going to work 2 single crochets into the next double crochet. 1 and 2, and then chain 1, skipping that next chain 1 space, and then work a single crochet into the next double crochet. and a single crochet in the top of the turning chain. And that's how easy it is to get started with this shawl. Just want to make sure you keep track of the center with a stitch marker. The next thing you're going to need to know is how to work a shawl. A shawl in this pattern is just 5 triple crochets into the next stitch. Now I'm going to work a shell stitch, and I'll just work it here even though this is not where you would work it in the actual pattern. This is just for demonstration purposes only. You're going to work 5 triple crochets into the next stitch. To work a triple crochet, you yarn over twice and go ahead and work that triple crochet into the next stitch. And you're going to do that 5 times all in that same stitch. There's 2, 3, and it creates a nice little shell look. You're going to find quite a few of these in this pattern, and I think they make a really beautiful stitch. So there you go. Now I'm going to show you how to work the popcorn stitch that you're going to find in this pattern. To work a popcorn stitch, this is really fun. You're going to start with 4 double crochets into the next stitch. Go ahead and work those. 1, 2, and these are all into that same stitch. 3 and 4. Now what you're going to do is pull up a little bit of a loop and remove your hook. Go back to that first double crochet that you worked and insert your hook from front to back in that stitch. Grab the loop and pull it through. And you've just created a little popcorn. It is that simple. Now let me show you how to work the final section of this shawl. I've got a little swatch here which represents the shawl, and I have my center stitch marked with a stitch marker. And I am using thicker yarn just to make it a little bit easier for you to see what I'm doing. You're going to start with a chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and you're going to skip the very first single crochet and work a double crochet into the next single crochet and chain 1. Now you're going to skip the chain 1 space, which is down here, and work a double crochet, chain 2, single crochet into that next stitch. Double crochet, chain 2, single crochet into that same stitch. Now chain 2, and you're going to work a double crochet 2 together over this same stitch and the stitch 4 stitches away. So to do that, yarn over, insert your needle into the same stitch you've been working in and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now stop, and you're going to skip 3 stitches, yarn over, and then work your other double crochet into the next stitch. And when you have 3 loops on your hook and it looks like this, go ahead, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Now chain 2, and you're going to single crochet into the same single crochet that you were just working in. And you're going to continue to repeat that across your row. Let me show you again. Chain 2, and then double crochet 2 together over this stitch and the one 4 stitches away. So start your double crochet 2 together in that same stitch, yarn over, skip 3 stitches, and I'm already at my center stitch here. Work your other partial double crochet there, and when you have 3 stitches left, you yarn over and pull through all 3 stitches. Now what you're going to do is chain 2 and single crochet into that same stitch. Now since this is our center stitch, you want to go ahead and remove that stitch marker from the row below and put it into that single crochet that you just worked, so you know that is your center. And we're going to continue repeating down to the other side of our shawl. Chain 2, double crochet 2 together over this stitch, the same one, and 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches away. So you're skipping 3 stitches in the middle of those double crochet 2 togethers. Chain 2 and single crochet in the same stitch. Now let's repeat it one more time. Chain 2, double crochet 2 together over the same stitch and 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches away. And you're going to get the hang of this in no time. Then chain 2 and single crochet in the same stitch. All right, you're going to repeat that all the way across until you get to that chain 1 space, and you're going to finish off your row with a chain 2 and double crochet into that same stitch, chain 1, skip your chain 1 space and double crochet in your next single crochet and in that final stitch. And it should look like this. What I've gone ahead and done is put a stitch marker into each of my double crochet 2 togethers, and I have one in my center stitch right here as well. And this is going to make the next row so much easier to work. You can do that if you like, you don't have to. We're going to start with a chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to skip this first double crochet and we're going to double crochet into the next double crochet. Work a chain 1 and then skip that chain space. Now in the next double crochet, you're going to work double crochet, chain 2, single crochet, all into that next stitch. Now chain 2 and double crochet 2 together over the same stitch and the next double crochet 2 together. This is where those markers are really going to come in handy. Yarn over and start working a double crochet into that same stitch, but stop before you finish. Yarn over, insert into the next double crochet 2 together, and start to work your double crochet. And when you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3, and this should form a little diamond shape. Now chain 2 and single crochet into that same stitch. You're going to repeat that across till you get to the center of your row. Chain 2, same thing as before, double crochet 2 together over the same stitch and the next double crochet 2 together, which is over here. Now chain 2 and single crochet into that same stitch. You're going to continue repeating that across. When you get close to your center marker, what you're going to go ahead and do is chain 2 and double crochet 2 together over the same stitch and that center marked stitch, which for me is right here. So it should be looking like that. Now you're going to chain 2 and double crochet into that same center single crochet. And since this is the new center of our shawl, go ahead and remove that stitch marker and place it right there on that double crochet that we just worked. So now we know that that is the new center of our shawl. We're going to go ahead and continue repeating down what we were doing before. Chain 2, double crochet 2 together over this same stitch and the next double crochet 2 together, chain 2, then single crochet in that same stitch. Let me show you again. Chain 2, double crochet 2 together over the same stitch and the next double crochet 2 together, and then we'll finish it off, chain 2, single crochet in that same stitch. Now when you've worked all the way across and you get towards the end, you're going to chain 2 and you're going to work a double crochet 2 together over that same stitch and the next double crochet, which is over here, chain 2, single crochet into that same double crochet that you were just working in, chain 2 and double crochet into that same double crochet. Then finish off your row with a chain 1, skip that chain space, double crochet into the next double crochet and into the top of that turning chain. And that completes that row. Let's move on to the next row. Once again, I have gone ahead and marked all of my double crochet 2 togethers just to make working this row simpler. You're going to begin with a chain 3, 2, 3, and you're going to skip the very first double crochet and work a double crochet into the next double crochet. Now work a chain 1, skip this chain space, and into the next double crochet you're going to work a double crochet, a chain 2, and a single crochet. Now you're going to chain 2, and you're going to work a double crochet 2 together over the same stitch and the next double crochet 2 together, which I've marked. Now chain 2 and single crochet into the same stitch. And we're going to continue repeating that across till we get to our center marker. Chain 2, double crochet 2 together over the same stitch, and the next double crochet 2 together, and you're going to see little diamond shapes forming. Chain 2 and single crochet into that same stitch. Again, chain 2, double crochet 2 together over the same stitch, and the next double crochet 2 together, chain 2 and single crochet into that same stitch. Now we are getting close to our center marker, which is right here. When you see that coming up, what you're going to want to do is chain 2, double crochet 2 together over the same stitch and that center marked stitch, like so. Now chain 2 and double crochet into that same center double crochet. Go ahead and open up your stitch marker, and you're going to move that to the double crochet that you just made. So that is the new center of your shawl. And we're going to continue repeating down this side what we just did on the first side of our shawl. Chain 2, double crochet 2 together over the same stitch, and the next double crochet 2 together, chain 2, single crochet in the same stitch. And you're going to find this nice and repeating. Chain 2, double crochet 2 together over the same stitch, and the next double crochet 2 together. You'll have it memorized in no time. Chain 2, single crochet in the same stitch. Let's do that again. Chain 2, double crochet 2 together over the same stitch, and the next double crochet 2 together, chain 2, and you're going to work a single crochet into that same stitch. When you do get all the way to the end and you've repeated that until you've reached that final double crochet 2 together, you're going to do a chain 2 and double crochet 2 together over the same stitch and the next double crochet, which is over here. Then you're going to chain 2 and single crochet into that same double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into that same double crochet, then finish off your row with a chain 1, skip that chain space, double crochet into the next double crochet, and then double crochet into the top of the turning chain. And there you go. So those tips should help you crochet a beautiful shawl that you're going to treasure for years to come. If you are new, go ahead and sign up for email updates at expressionfiberarts.com, as we do new patterns nearly every Friday, and they are usually free for a limited time only. So I'm going to notify you through the newsletter when the new ones go live. Have a most amazing day. Marvel in all the little things that life has to offer today, and make sure to find some time for crocheting. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Mwah. Mwah.